Hey folks, it's Ridgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Boulder Canyon in Farming Simulator 19, or, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on Boulder Canyon, whichever way you would like to approach things. And we are continuing on with our canola planting here today. We're going to just skip over to this bad boy over here, and she is going to continue doing our cultivating for us here. Now, we've got to remember the cultivator is a little bit more sedate with its progress across the field than our planter is over there. So chances are we're going to have to pause the planter for a little while so that we can allow this one to sort of get a little bit ahead. Now, what are you doing at the moment? I've got the AI vehicle extension working on here. The other one's decided to just give up and stop for a minute, so we can leave that one as he is. And you are continuing on your merry. Now, why are you... Oh, I see. I decided to try out the straight like a normal worker bit with the AI extension. I guess we can leave... We'll leave that one doing that for a minute, and we will go over here. So, I've got you right there. Now, I was going to stop this one for a minute, wasn't I? I was gonna... Wait. Ooh. You probably don't want to go dumping the front weight down. My plan was to leave that one there just for a bit and allow the cultivator to get a little bit ahead. Go and tip a little bit of food in for the cows, which we will go and do. And then also go back through and go and get the trailer, the flatbed trailer, that flatbed trailer over there. Go and get a little bit of straw onto it. Tip that into the straw spreader over there, and spread a bit more straw in for the cows as well. Now the tractor is turned around over there. I just want to make sure that that other tractor does come up through and turn properly and doesn't leave us a terrible mess all over the field. Not quite sure what it's going to do. I mean, he seems to be doing all right. He's struggling a little bit, but he's definitely doing better now that we've got a front weight on here, just pulling it down a little bit, keeping it on the ground, allowing the front wheels to assist with hauling it through the ground. We're burning through our fuel. Not excessively so, but we are using up a fair slice of fuel here. And why are you just leaving that in the ground? That is down to the AI vehicle extension rather than anything else. I'm not quite sure why it feels the need to go and do that. Seems a little bit of a peculiarity. Going to come over to there. It does behave rather weirdly, this AI extension sometimes. It's going to move back. It is going to get at least sort of move back to the right place up there, and then it's going to carry on. And nothing to see here, folks. It does actually seem to be doing mostly what we want it to do, which is excellent news. So let's go and take this one here. We'll run this one up round to the cows. We will tip this out, and then we will bring it back, and we will load it up again so that it is ready to feed the cows. We're going to need to start cleaning these cows up a little bit. There's a little bit of silage there tipped in the way. I guess I don't need to worry about that just for a minute. And if we have a look in here, see our animals, 195 sheep. We've just had a new sheep turn up. 195 sheep that we've got right there, which is fantastic. And they're doing really well. So the sheep we're pleased with. And we got 86 cows here. We get another one in 9 hours. So when's that? Towards the end, while we're asleep, we'll get another cow. And we get one every 14¼ hours at the moment, which is a pretty good rate. We're up to 138,000 of total mixed ration, which is about halfway. We've got roughly 3 days worth of food in there now, which is starting to look a little bit better. And obviously, as the number of cows increases, we're going to want to move that up. But once you get the initial feeding done, once you get that first sort of burst of all the food squished in there all at once, The keeping them topped up is a lot easier. It requires a lot less food, because obviously you put in 6 days worth in to start with, and that's the bit that takes a little while. That's the bit that takes a bit of doing to get done, and then after that it starts to become considerably easier. Now, next on the list, we want to go and get this trailer over here. Just wondering if maybe I should... You know what, I'm going to leave that for now. We're going to go and get the planter hooked back in, and we're going to carry on with that. We'll do this bit back here. I'm actually physically pointing right now. I just pointed my thumb back over my shoulder when I was talking about that trailer back there. I got to remember that you can't see me. And no, that doesn't mean I'm suddenly going to go and get a webcam and set it up so you can all see my face for radio whilst I'm busy doing all of this. I've no intention of putting a face cam going. That's not going to happen. So yeah, don't worry about that. I know that some of you do want me to get a face cam. It's not going to happen. So I'll tell you right now, it's no. That's just a straight no. We're not doing that. No face cams, no wheel cams, no cameras. Well, there's no point in having a wheel cam because I do this series with keyboard. Keep this minimalistic is what we do on this series. So I've got the... Once the cultivating is finished, we'll have the cultivating tractor, the Deutz that's over there, all the way down the other end at the moment. And we'll use that one to do some of the straw. That way this one can keep planting. And once the planting is finished, then we can speed our time back to our normal 5-time speed rather than what we've got it on at the moment. The other thing that I wanted to look at was, how are we on here? We need one more round of fertilizer down here. It says that it needs lime up there, but grass doesn't actually... Grass yield is not affected by lime in the game, same as it's not affected by weed cover. Or at least it wasn't originally. I don't know if that's maybe been changed with the patch, but I don't think it has. I haven't heard anybody saying anything about whether it's been changed with the patch or not. So I don't currently believe that there are any differences there. We'll have to see. A couple of comments about the milk for the cows. At the moment, I said that we would just do daily collection. A few people have said that it would probably be more realistic until we get a full tanker of milk coming from our cows. It would be more realistic to have every other day collection. Or at the very least until we reach the point where we're getting a half a tanker load, or just over half a tanker load. That's the point there, is just over half. If you've got just under half a tanker load, then you could still wait for the 2-day mark. But once we go beyond half a tanker per day, so that in 2 days it takes more than one full tanker to come and do it, that's when we should realistically move to daily collection. So that's what I'm going to trial. We're going to test that out and we'll see how it works. I mean, we do have 80 odd cows now, don't we? How many is it we got? I've got to 86. We've got 86 cows. Right now we've got 3,500 litres of milk, which is not very much. So every other day collection would be fairly realistic for that kind of quantity, especially, you know, all things considered. So we could expect those cows to be fully emptied out, not tomorrow morning, but the following morning is when we would expect the milk tanker to arrive and take the milk away. So we're gonna trial that. We're gonna see what that works out like, and obviously give me your feedback in the comments if you think that we should still be doing everyday collection despite not having enough to have a tanker full. Maybe we're just in a district that would be feasible, except that we're in the mountains and we're in the middle of a forested area. It's not going to be worth them sidetracking to us for a few thousand litres. It is for a tanker full, or for every other day collection. So that's the logic behind this, and I'm inclined to agree. I think that does make a lot of sense. Once we reach more than half a tanker a day, you know, we would either need to very carefully keep everything separate between milkings and have several separate tanks to be able to do it, or we'd need them to come up and do 2 journeys every second day in order to take a full tanker and then a little bit more besides. So it would make more sense if they've got over half a tanker to come up and take all of the milk from us, and then when they head back down into the valley a little more, there's more milk that they can go and get down there just to, like, top it up. Now, how are we doing over here? I've got 157,000 litres of total mixed ration made up at the moment. We've got some straw in here, we've got some grass in here, which is hay. We got no silage in this beastie at the moment, which we need to spoon in here. We will do that once the cultivating is finished, along with a couple of other bits. So let's go and have a look and see how these are doing over here. You right here. I'm going to turn off the hired help now. I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to lower that one down, and I'm going to work this edge of the field. Going to bring that along there, right the way round here. Just going to do this bit manually, so that I've got an edge here that the tractor can then work to. The cultivator is not quite done the piece over there, so we will go back over and we'll do that in a little while. Not going to do it just yet. I just want to have something done over here. So if we lift that one up and then turn round like that. Oops. Okay, I didn't actually mean to do it like that. I should have put it out in a different direction. Why are you blocked by an object? What object are you blocked by? You're not blocked by anything at all. Unless he's thinking he's blocked. No, it wouldn't be me. He's just... There's something here that it doesn't like. I don't know what that something might be, but it might just be that it didn't like the funny angle in the field or something like that. It could easily be that. Anyway, we'll bring you back over here a minute, and then we can reverse you back down there so that we've got a nice straight edge on this bit. And I want to get this with a straight edge all the way down, so I actually need to overlap there a little tiny bit, like this. Down, I'll bring the center of that one onto there, like that, I think, and then we can lower it in, and we can do a straight drive up through there, just like that, and that's neat and tidy there. I think 2 widths should be enough on this one in order to allow the tractor to come up and turn properly beside this big stone. If it's not, then we will just tidy up the little bit that's left afterwards. We don't need to worry about it too much, though. It's not going to be like a major problem for us just to tidy up a little tiny bit right here. And I can bring you back in around over there, and then I can set the hired help going again, and it's away, off down across the field once more. I am really loving the dual tyres on this thing, the dual wheels. I'm sort of thinking that for the rest of this series, we're going to keep the dual wheels on this one. We won't on the other tractor. We've got that one just, I think that's actually just standard wheels. We haven't even got wide tyres on that one. But this one, I really do like having the jewels on it. I think they're very, very cool looking. Excuse me. Very, very cool looking indeed. I like these. I think they are absolutely spectacular. And this is the bit where the hired help always gets a little bit fussy. And it's nothing to do with the trees. It's entirely to do with that sign that is right there. So if I pick that one up now and then spin round... It's only on that bit, so it's just that one sign right there. I want to know, do you want me to release the save game file for... I still haven't done the Black Mountain save game file. It's on my to-do list. The thing is, with the Black Mountain save game file, that I made some modifications to the map, so there's a big chunk of that map that you can't actually access unless you modify it the same as what I did. The collision, the collision along the outside edge of the map is right into where I had my fields on that map. So I can release the file, but I can't release the save game because it's not mine, which could cause you some problems. It's the same with this one. I can release the save game file. I got no problem doing that. It's just that when you go to play it on this one, You remember the collision issues we had up on that hill up there where the grass wasn't being left behind because there were problems with the map underneath it and there were collision masks and stuff, and I talked about how I fixed it. You need to be able to go into the Giants editor to fix that and do it yourself, because it's not just a chunk over on that. Right the way across that hill, there are big areas that you have exactly the same thing. You can't tip the grass out. It's got this collision mask all over it. And unless you can edit it yourself and remove that, you're going to really struggle to be able to do anything that leaves behind either straw or grass lying on the field. You're going to have exactly the same problem that I had, unless you can edit it. And I can't go and release an edited version of the map because it's not my map. I don't have permission to do that, so you'd be kind of on your own. So knowing that you would really struggle with large areas of that field where it can't actually deposit any grass down, would you still want the save game file from this Let's Play? So let me know about that in the comments. You can come on to our Discord. There is a link to that one in the description down below, and you can discuss that further. You may also be able to find some assistance on there if you did want to get this map and then try to modify it yourself. Also, this map that we're using, the original link that I was using was disabled and taken down because the person who made the map has decided to stop modding. And it was, I think it was a Facebook link that I had originally, but there are copies of the map available on other websites that you can go and find. So yeah, this one's a little bit difficult because it's not officially supported, and the modder went and took down the map. So I'm of two minds as to whether I should be releasing it anyway. So give me your thoughts and opinions on that one in the comments section. I'll see if I can do I'll see if I can do what people want. We'll try and make people happy on this. I just can't go releasing a version of the map that has been fixed for doing anything other than forestry. And it's the same with the Black Mountain. I can give you the Black Mountain save game file if I eventually get round to uploading it with the list of the mods. But what I can't do is give you a modified version of it that you can use to actually go and do what I was doing until, because you've got to modify it yourself. There's probably a quarter of the two big fields I created up at the top you won't be able to get to because there's a big invisible collision wall down the side of them. And I moved that back right to the very edge of the map. It was a fairly simple process to move it. You've just got to be able to get into Giants Editor and at least have a familiarity with the basics of moving around and making some alterations. But there is that possibility there. Now, this tractor here has almost finished doing the cultivating. I'd like you to hurry up and finish cultivating, because then I've got other jobs that I want to do, and I'm getting a bit bored just kind of waiting for you to finish your job. I'm sure it's very exciting and all, watching you go up and down the field, but there are other things we need to do. We've got animals that need to be fed. We've got stock that needs to be cared for. Why are you going all the way back there? What possible advantage could that be to anybody if you to go all the way back there? I do not understand the logic of the AI extension or the standard AI. There seems to be no logic to any of it. Now, that tractor over there may have a bit of an issue trying to turn round here. It may not. How are you going to cope with this bit? This is going to make you think a little bit more. You may end up having a slight problem with this. We know that thinking is not the strong point of any of the AI. Thinking seems to be something that they genuinely struggle with. You'd think that, really, they wouldn't struggle with that. They're artificial intelligence. They seem to be artificial stupidity for the most part. Well, he's managed to cope with that bit, so we'll, credit where it's due. He's managed to do one thing right. He's got one thing right. So, yeah, we'll give credit where it's due. Now, this tractor here, he might not be particularly powerful in relation to many of the others, but we are able to use it a little bit. So we're going to bring this one over here. We're going to hook it onto the hay turner that we've got, and then we're going to just bring it round. back it up, get it into position. There we go, like that. And we'll drive it up over this way, and then we'll hose it down. Clean off the hay turner. And then it's going to be all ready for the next time that we might need it. Which we may end up doing the next time we do grass. Like, we're either going to want silage bales or more hay. And we've got... I can't remember how many stacks of hay, to be honest. But we're going to be wanting both. We are going to be wanting both. We're going to want both silage bales and hay. And at the rate we're going with the cows, we're not going to be wanting to sell any silage bales yet. So I was thinking that maybe we'd have a load of silage bales come off that field up there, and then we'd be able to sell them. But that ain't going to happen. That's not going to be happening because we're going to be using all of it. We're going to need to get some more hay into, some more silage in for these cows pretty soon. Let's just bring you around over there and... Oops. Steady. Go into our workshop here. It's a beautiful place here, so we've got an open-air workshop. We work outside on this one. And we can repair that one. Yes, $13 that cost us. And then we want to repair this one as well for $48. Fantastic. And then we can jump on to you. And I'll go and put this one away in the shed. And then we're going to go and get the next thingamajiggy. Who's me bobs it. And we're going to put that one in here as well. So I'm going to bring you round over like this. I've got to try and squeeze this one into the shed next. Which is not going to be the easiest thing to do. I also got to make sure that I don't drive onto the bale spikes with our tyres, or we're going to seriously regret that. And then I can lower that one down like that. And reverse it into the shed like that. Not really a shed so much as just a cover for now. And we can leave that one like that. Excellent. Right, there's our first bit done. Don't drive on the bale spikes. And we can go and get the rake over here. Now, this tractor might not be quite strong enough to power that rake. But what we can do is we can at least pick the rake up and we can go take it round and hose it off. Clean it up, so on and so forth. So that's what we will do at the moment. And it's got a... It's got an invisible pickup on there, so we're farming in Middle Earth. That's what we're doing. We're farming in Middle Earth, and Gandalf is helping us do this particular job. Decided that he wants the rake a little bit further back from the tractor, so Gandalf was. This is what happens when Gandalf comes and helps you do your farming, right? You get get things like that happening. I'm just going to move this one over here, just so he's out of the way a little bit, just for a minute. And we're going to then hop back over. You are doing just fine. I'm actually going to hop back over to you. You're finished, which is excellent news. I'm going to take this one up round. We're going to have to jump into the workshop in a minute. We'll start folding this one up as we go. We're going to jump into the workshop in a second and put the loader arm back on this one. Except I don't need the loader arm just yet, so it's not urgent. We'll just bring this one through and clean this off. Then we get that baler, we can get that trailer on. Now, what I do want to do, though, is I want to come up here and I just want to manually do a little bit of planting along the top end up there. It's probably going to be a helpful thing to do. I've got a rake that is set there ready to clean. I need to just squeeze through with this one. I'm not going to clean it just yet. I want to do the bales. I'd like to do just a little bit with the bales for a minute. So I'm going to go to there, and I'll lower you down. This one does lower down folded up, unlike our mower. Makes it a lot easier for us. And we'll whiz round over here. Let's just go and have a look at that tractor a minute and see how he does with the turning. He's probably gonna be able to cope with it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to do a single pass along this top headland here, and that's gonna give us just enough room for this tractor to be able to turn properly for the rest of just this bit up here. I'm not gonna worry about the rest of it coming down the side there. Can leave that for a minute. I just want to do this bit along here. I'll do the bit going down the side tomorrow when we go back to when we get to that. 'Cause if I just do this, he's then able to carry on doing the long work down through here. Don't drive into that shed over there. So he's got some quite long work down through there. So I'm now able to just let that one carry on doing that. So you go on there and do that, and then this one here can go over to this bale trailer, and we're going to load up a few bales. Now, I'm not just going to load up any old bales on this one. I'm going to take the trailer. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to very carefully attempt to load half a line of straw bales and half a line of silage bales is what I was thinking. But now that I think about it a little bit more, I think that idea is probably a bit daft. So we won't do that. We will just do it like this. We need to change what we're loading onto the bale, onto the trailer. I had it on the right one then. Large square bales is what I want. And then I can start loading. I'm just going to load 6 bales on here. Yes, I will. I will just load 6 bales. I'm not going to bother like unloading and strapping them down just for a minute. We'll leave them like this, and we will drag them round, and we can go and load them into that machine over there. So we will run these through here. One thing that we will need is more straw fairly soon. We're starting to run a little bit low on straw. We've only got a couple stacks there. We've got canola that we're planting this time. Next time we're going to be doing corn. We're going to have to do wheat or barley the time after that so that we can get a little bit more straw. So we've got our work cut out for us, haven't we? So I want to go here like this so that that unloads like that. I've got to make sure I get this one in the right place. So bring him over like that. And that's going to put half the bales into it, but I think that's actually in the wrong spot there. If I do that, it's going to catapult them into the wrong place. We'll try it anyway. Yeah, told you. Okay, I got one. I managed to get one bale loaded on there, and I've taken the bale out of the spreader as well. That wasn't part of the master plan. That was not supposed to happen. Okay, if I stop that one loading a minute. There, right. That's drop that one down back into position. And then I can go to here. Now, that's where that one is trying to unload. That is in the wrong place. So we're going to have to back this trailer out a bit. My reversing with this trailer is terrible, as usual. You would expect nothing less from me. You would expect nothing less than poor quality, bad driving. And we're going to bring that one over to about there. Let's back it up a little tiny bit. Let's try that again. That's more like it. That's what I wanted. And we will leave that one right there just for a second. And then I can go over here and I can reverse on and I can get these 3 bales. Go in like that and I can start unloading. There we go. Right. Now, we can move it this direction, but we can't go any higher than that. Let's not put it right into the face of all the cows over there. They'll get a little bit upset if I do that too much. And then we're blasting in a great big load of straw. It's fairly slow going unloading this thing. But at least it works. At least it's still doing it. Still doing it. Still doing it now. Fuel! Don't let me forget to get some fuel. I need to get some fuel for this tractor or we're going to run out completely. And I really, really don't want to run out completely. So I'm just going to leave it going. Right, and then I can start unloading again. While he's unloading that bale a minute, we can just go and check over here and make sure that you are not being daft. It's like you're seriously considering being daft. So I'm going to go over here like this. I'm just going to go to the edge of the field here. And along this bottom edge, I'm going to do another run. Actually, I'm going to do a run all the way round here now. Right the way round this little piece that's left. And then we can set that one going. Just about run out of time for today's episode as well. We will finish our planting tomorrow. That will all be done. We need to get fertilizer onto this field. That's a quick and easy job to do, though. We don't need to worry about that. Which means then the only thing left to do to this field before we want to harvest it is going to be the putting the herbicide onto the field. That's the only thing that's going to be left. Now, our grass field up there is already to the point where it's nearly ready to harvest. If we go back this way, we click on grass there, and then we go up through... Oh, no, it's not. It's still growing at the moment. I thought for a minute it was on the first stage for harvest. So, no, at the moment, it's all right. We don't need to worry about it, but I suspect that's going to be ready to cut before this field is ready to cut. Depending on how much before this field, it will decide whether or not we still try to keep them in sync. I'm thinking it's probably a good idea to leave these in sync so that we're... Basically what we do is we leave the cutting of the grass until this field is ready to combine, and then we do both of them at the same time. That seems to work better for us, although the harvests are taking a little bit longer now. The mowing is not actually too bad. We did seem to get through the mowing at a reasonable rate. It would be nice to get some bigger mowers. There's something that I'd like to do soon. Let's go and put this next one through. It would help if we started up the tractor, because that is technically a PTO machine. Why? Why did you... I went away from you. Oh, I know why. The tractor stopped. Oh! Oh my, look at that. It actually... It kept going, but it used the bale off of the trailer over here. That trailer, I left it on auto-load. It was auto-loaded on there. But it used up one of those bales rather than one inside the machine here. Now that is weird. That is very strange. I've not seen it do that before. That bale there hasn't completely dropped down. I'm going to go back over this way and I'm going to see what happens here. We have run out of time, but I want to just see what happens over there. That's turned beautifully. It's actually planted everything as well. So we've got no issues coming up down there, which means that we've got nothing to worry about anywhere through it. All I want to do is go over here and see how much space we've got left for straw. We've just about used up, we've just about filled up their straw. That's excellent news. Now I go here, 1,600 litres left on this bale. It's going to leave us with 2 bales once that's done. Right. That time it's not done anything, but we've used an additional bale. And that is peculiar. I don't know why we've gone and used an extra. It's still telling me that I've got 3 bales on here. That is a very, very weird little bug. Some sort of little bug has caused it to go and pinch a bale. The Primor has gone and pinched a bale from the trailer for whatever reason. It definitely used the bale up and put it in for the cows. It's not like the bale hasn't just vanished into thin air. I mean, yeah, they do sometimes, but it hasn't this time. Quite what would cause it to do that, I don't really know, but I'm okay. I'm actually okay with it doing that. That's fine. It's not caused us any serious problems or anything like that. So it's not really much of a concern. It's just an interesting little thing that has gone and happened. Right, anyway, we will put the silage in over on this one in tomorrow's episode, as well as get fertilizer spread on that field down there, and possibly get a little bit more food in for the cows, and then I'm not really sure. We will see. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.